Hello everyone, hi, hello, my name's Morgan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright everyone, so today we are doing my January wrap up. January technically isn't over yet, it is only the 26th, but I'm still working on my finishing reading Onyx Storm. It's taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I don't really see me getting through any more books in the month of January, so I figured might as well get this filmed now because I won't have time to film it at the beginning of February because I'm going to go see Rebecca Yarros on her book tour. So I'm going to film it today, and then if I do read more books, I will talk about it in my February wrap up. But let's go ahead and go over the stats for January. I have it all written down. So we read a total of 12 books in January, which I think is pretty good. I think for the beginning of the year, my reading goal is pretty high, so 12 books is a good start. Total pages read was 4,298. I read 6 romance books, 2 mangas, and then 3 fantasy. So since I read so many books, let's just go ahead and get right into this video. We're going to start off with the first book I read in January and then work our way down from the very last book that I read. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so first book that we read. I'm also going to pull up my Goodreads so I can see what I rated everything as well, so I can make sure I give all of you guys correct information. Let me pull it up. So the first book we read was Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. So this was actually a reread for me. Not a reread. When I first tried to read it, I DNF'd it because I think I just wasn't in the mood. I had never read like a cozy comedy type of fantasy before, so this was the first one I ever read, and I don't think I was in the mood for it. So I got like 50 pages in it and then I DNF'd it. So I picked it up again beginning of this month and I read it, started it again, binged it. I read it when I was working, flew through it, and right when I finished this one, I went ahead and ordered the second one because this one leaves off on a cliffhanger, and I was like, this is a joke. I don't have the second one yet. I need the second one. So since I'm a flight attendant, I wasn't even home anyway, I went ahead and ordered the book so that by the time I landed back at home, I had the second book. I rated this book 4 stars. It's so cute, and for introducing myself into like the cozy fantasy world, really good book. Now this book, I don't know, I feel like everyone knows what this is about because it's a pretty popular book. I believe this book is even getting turned into either a movie or a TV show. I can't remember which, but I know it's getting turned into something. Now this book is about, what's her name? Evie and the villain. I'm not gonna tell you the villain's name because it's actually kind of a spoiler, so I'm not gonna tell you that. But it's about Evie and the villain, and like it says in the title, she becomes the assistant to the villain. So now she's a very bubbly, happy character, and the villain is obviously dark and broody. Slow burn. This book is also a slow burn, which is, I didn't know. I did not know until I was reading it, and I was like, why haven't they kissed? Why haven't they, what is going on? It's a slow burn. But the banter, so good. The, if you touch her, I'll kill you. Phenomenal. 4 stars. Please hold. Sorry, someone was knocking at my door and I had to see who it was. But yeah, back to this. 4 stars. I highly recommend this book. I believe it's supposed to be like a 4-book series. The 3rd book isn't out yet, but the 1st and 2nd one are. If you haven't read this, what are you doing? Go pick it up. Alright, so next one, it was actually a series. So I'm trying, if I start a series, I'm forcing myself to finish it because the amount of series I am in the middle of right now is embarrassing, so I'm not going to tell you. But then I picked up Sinners Anonymous by Som Sketcher. I think that's how you say it. This is the Mystic edition, so very pretty. But I ended up reading this one, and then right when I finished this one, this is a bind up of the next ones in this series, The Sinners Condemned and Consumed. It's a bind up of the 2. So I went ahead and read these 2. Let me see what I rated it. I rated Sinners Anonymous a 3 star, and then I also rated both of these books in this one a 3 star as well. Not a bad series. I'm not saying it's bad. Just okay, but I have to I compare it to any other mafia. I wouldn't really call this dark romance. It's just really just a mafia romance. When I compare it to the others, it's not my favorite, but at the same exact time, it's not bad. Like, if you like mafia romance, pick these up. They're really good. really quick and easy reads as well. Like, I think I finished both of these in like 2 hours. So her writing is very quick and easy, very easy to understand. But I went ahead and read these two. And then right when I finished those ones, I picked up Brutal Ambition by Sam Marino. This is another Mystic edition. I also rated this one 3 stars. Now, this one follows more of like the whole entire cult mentality, I believe. So it's like a secret society kind of romance, which I've actually never read a book that had like a secret society in it. This is my first one. I've read a different book by San Marino before and I did not enjoy it, so I was a little nervous about going into this one. But actually, I enjoyed this one. It was cute, it was interesting, new concept, really quick and easy read as well. So I liked it. But apparently this is like set in the same universe as another series that she has, but you can read it on its own. So I hadn't read the other series, but I had just read this one. But with reading this one, I am interested and intrigued in like this companion series that goes with this, because I enjoyed the whole entire secret society kind of thing that they were going for. That was really, really interesting. So once I finished that one, I read all of this on like the same trip that I was on for work. So when I landed, I got a package, and in that package was Apprentice to the Villain. So then I picked this one up because, you know, like as I said, for the first one, I really enjoyed that one and it left on a cliffhanger. So I had to know how this one ended. I gave this one a 4.5 stars. Once again, it leaves you on a cliffhanger for this book as well. The third one isn't out yet, but I already have it pre-ordered. So I'm very, very excited for this one to come out. Like, and the edges, I'm sad because my Assistant to the Villain doesn't have the red edges, but all the rest of my books will have the edges. So I'm kind of thinking about doing the edges myself, but I'm scared because I don't want to ruin the book. So I might practice on a few other books before I do it on that one. But yeah, just like I already told you what Assistant to the Villain is about. I'm not going to tell you what Apprentice to the Villain is about because it's the second book in a series. But like I said with that one, if you haven't started the series yet, you need to. Like, I cannot wait to watch this get put on TV or for a movie because it's going to be so much fun. I love the villain. I love Evie. All the side characters. You get more side character point of view in this story as well. So good. Every character. I don't think I hate. Well, I do hate one character. Obviously, there has to be someone in this book that you hate. So there is one character in this book that I just strongly do not like. But you're not supposed to like them. But everyone else, there's not one single character that I'm like, oh no, I have to read in their point of view. This is gonna be boring. Nope. Not on this channel. We love this book here. Love it. Next book was Blue Box Volume 1. Now this is a manga. Now if you don't know what manga is, it's a Japanese story, but it has mostly pictures and words, but you also read it backwards than what you would normally read a book here. So kind of think of like a graphic novel. It's kind of along these lines. This is a basketball romance. I believe they're both actually in junior high, so it's more along for like young adults, but it was so cute. I gave it a 3.5. I typically don't rate my manga that high to begin with, only because there's only so much that you can get in this story, but I will be collecting. I don't know how long this series is. Manga typically will be long, but this is so cute. So this is, I'm going to butcher their names, and I'm so sorry, but I'm going to try my best. So there was a boy, the boy on the cover, Taiyaki Inomata. He likes badminton. And then the girl right here, her name is Shinatsu. She loves basketball. He has a crush on her, and he makes a big, huge deal with her that they both need to get to the championships. They need to win, blah, 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 blah. So this is their story, I think, of how they become friends and hopefully something more. So cute. It's just so down to earth. Like the friendships that are in here, these two, watching them interact. They also go through like their own hardships that you get to read about individually as well. And it's so cute. I love this manga. I love romance manga. It's my favorite. I typically don't read much for like sport manga. I read a lot of like sport novels, but sport manga I really don't read that much of. But this one, the sports talk isn't too much in this, so you're still, even if you don't know anything about basketball or badminton, you'll be able to follow along easily and not get confused on what's going on. All right, next up, I read Light Lark by Alex Astor. So honestly, I picked up this book because it's everywhere on social media. TikTok kept putting it on my For You page and was like, read this book. Why haven't you read this book? Blah, blah, blah. Everyone talking about the third book, Sky Shade, I think it was called, that had just come out. And I'm like, I can't read it because I haven't even read Light Lark. Read it. I gave it 2 stars. Honestly, I was about to give it like a 2.5. I was about to give it a 1 star. But the ending in Grimm is the reason why this was a 2.5. I love Grimm. I think the reason why I don't like this story as much is because I am not a fan of love triangles. I hate love triangles with a burning passion. So if there's a love triangle in a story, I'm already just annoyed. I'm fully annoyed. I'm over it. And this follows a love triangle. And I believe even in the second and the third book, there is still a love triangle. I'm not sure how long that there will be a love triangle for. I don't know. I don't love the love triangle trope. It is my least favorite trope next to pregnancy trope. But I still want to give it a try. The story itself is very interesting. It gives very much so Hunger Games vibes because you have it's like a game that they're in, and they have to either all the survivors, all of the kingdoms send someone there of the rulers. They all go to this island, and then in order for them to keep magic and to save all their people, they basically have to kill everyone else. And obviously there's a romance in this, like I said, but it is not just like between her and one other person. It's 3 people, which I don't like. But I will be picking up the second book only because it's left on a cliffhanger and I need to know. And everyone is obsessed with the second book, so I need to know why everyone is so obsessed with this book. Everyone tells me that it gets better, and I usually hate series that are like that. Like you have to get to like the 3rd or 4th book for it to get good. But this book wasn't bad. The writing was really, really nice and pretty. I liked the writing. I enjoy Alex's writing style. I'm not too sure if the story is for me, but I'm going to continue on with the series just to see if maybe, like everyone says that the second book is better. I want to see if that's true. Okay, next up, do not make fun of my copy of this book. I bought it secondhand, and then I threw it in my suitcase, and it kind of got a little beat up. But I have The Enemy by Sarah Adams. 5 stars. I love Sarah Adams' writing. I own almost all of her books. They're short books, but you get so much in them that you just fall in love with the characters. So this one is it's an enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers. So they were rivals back in high school, and they graduated, all of that happened. They come back for a mutual friend's wedding, and the girl was like, I'm going to show him that I'm this big, huge baker. All the boys want to date me in my small town, blah, 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 blah. But he actually owns his own restaurants. He has the youngest chef ever to have Michelin stars. He has 3 of them. So then it's basically just these 2 pretending that they hate each other. And we both know that they don't. But he finally admits, like, I don't hate her. I like her. So it's him trying to convince her that they would be perfect for each other. Yes, count me in. 5 stars. Sarah Adams has never done me wrong yet. So, and look how cute this cover is. Minus the fact that there's like a big, huge chunk of it missing. This cover is so pretty, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so after that, I kept going with the romance, and I read Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Another 5 stars. I was just going hit after hit after hit. I love Catherine Center. I own all of her books. She's an auto-buy author for me. So if she comes out with something, I will buy it. Now, I had never read a book like this before. So it follows a girl named Sadie. She has, this isn't a spoiler, it's in the synopsis. So in the beginning of the story, she gets in this accident. So when she wakes up from her accident, she realizes that she now has, I think it's called facial blindness, to where basically when she looks at people's faces, she can't see it. It's like a bunch of like squiggly lines, squares, like she cannot tell who anyone is. And since her whole entire life, she has been able to see faces, she can't even barely recognize his voices or anything like that. And also for her job, she paints portraits of people. But now she can't do that because, she has facial blindness. And then there's this guy that she meets that she just instantly kind of clicks with. She feels safe with him. He's a veterinarian. So it basically follows their love story. And I just think it's so interesting how she went about showing the facial blindness, how people with this have to live. I love that representation. I have never seen someone write with this representation before, so I really, really, really enjoyed this book. And if you haven't read it, read it. The big plot twist is kind of predictable in it, but I mean, it's a rom-com. I don't know what else you kind of think you're getting with a rom-com. Now, if I was reading like a mystery thriller and I could guess the plot twist in the beginning, I'd be upset. But with this, 5 stars. If you haven't read it, pick it up. If you haven't read any of Catherine Sinner's books, like the rom-commers, the Bodyguards, she has another book coming out this year that I already have pre-ordered. What are you doing? Go read any of the books that I just listed. Go read it now. I will rate, and you can come back to this video after you finish this. We're waiting. All right, you read it? Okay. Didn't you also love it? Yep. 5 stars. So good. Okay. Next book, I actually have never heard anything about this book. I ran out of books when I was working, so I ran into the airport to go and buy a new book, and I saw this one. It's called Clean Point by Meg Jones. It is a tennis romance, and this is actually, I don't want to call it forbidden love, but she's a former tennis player with a bad reputation. He is her dad's rival in tennis, so they end up forming a team to get back at her father, and then they end up falling in love. Sounds messy. And he also has like this good boy image. She's a bad girl, he's a good boy. What could go wrong? It was so good. I actually ended up rating it 4 stars. I had never heard anyone talk about this book. At least all the people that I follow. When I went on Goodreads to see if anyone I know had read this book, I didn't see anything. And I typically try not to read Goodreads reviews on a book before I read it because I don't want my opinion to be swayed in any way. But I just wanted to see if anyone else read it. No one else has read it. And if you haven't, this book is so cute. I love sports romance, so. And I don't think I've read a tennis romance. I think I've read one by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I had never read just like a good old rom-com tennis romance. It's so good. This was so good, and I loved every second of it. Now, to end out what I read in January, it's another manga. I read One Piece. This is the omnibus version, the volume 3, so it has volume 7, 8, and 9 in it. Pretty chunky manga, but I decided that I wanted to start my One Piece journey. Now, if any of y'all know about One Piece, you will know this series is long, and it's going to take me a long time to probably finish it. And I believe it's still ongoing too. So who knows how long it will take me, but I'm collecting the omnibus versions instead of the singles only because this, yes, it still takes up the same room as what the singles would, but instead of having to buy like over 100 of these, I can buy like 50 and have the whole series and still be fine. But yeah, I believe this is all still arc 1, the East Blue arc, but I rated this a 3 star. I really enjoyed volume 9 and getting more of, what's her name? Nani? Is her name Nani, or did I make that up? I think I made it up, but I know her name's with an N. I just can't think of what it is right now. But just know, it does start with an N. Am I making that up? No, it starts with an N. I don't know, but it starts with an N. Someone fact check me on that, please. But I really enjoyed volume 9 because we got more of her backstory, whereas these ones kind of felt like more introducing more characters, kind of like more of a filler story, but I still enjoyed it. But volume 9 was the best volume, in my humble opinion. It was cute, it was good. It's about pirates. I don't really read much about pirates, not even any of my novels that I don't think I own a pirate story. I think this might be the only one, but this was good. I enjoyed it. Now, that is all the books that I have read in January. I'm happy. I think 12 is a good number, and if I can stick with reading 12 books a month, we should be good. We should make it. We should make my reading goal, because I think I made my reading goal. I think I made it 200. I hope I didn't make it 200. Did I? Let's check. Because if I did, someone help me. Someone please help me. I made it 200 books, and I am actually I think I'm right on goal. I think I'm like right on track, so I'm not ahead, but I'm not behind either. So I think we're fine. We'll read more in February. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below what you read in January, what your favorite book is. Please subscribe, like this video, follow me on any of my other social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.